Zarni. I'm from Burma originally, was raised as a Buddhist, and I'm here to speak out against the genocide, the full-scale but slow-paced genocide of the Rohingya people. But the Rohingyas are ethnic minority of Islamic faith. They live in their own ancestral land, sandwiched between Bangladesh and Burma. And both the military government of my own country and the majority of Buddhist people are involved in essentially wiping out the Rohingyas, the identity, their history, and making life completely impossible on land. So much so that the Rohingyas would rather risk fleeing across Andaman Sea on rickety boats, bringing their infants, bringing their elderly and sick parents and grandparents. And so because life on earth, life on land in Burma for the Rohingya is extremely hopeless and deplorable, that they would run to the sea, risk their lives in hopes that they may find refuge in third countries such as Malaysia, Thailand and other places. And recently, there have been discovery of mass graves in Thailand and Burma. Thailand and Malaysia, where like hundreds of Rohingya bodies had been exhumed. What my country, Burma, is doing to the Rohingya is a full-scale genocide. Since 1978, when the persecution started by the Burmese military government, at least half the population of Rohingyas have fled the country, and the remaining Rohingyas are either in what we call open vast prisons, towns and 2 towns and hundreds of villages that are divided up as security grips, where they are not allowed freedom of movement, are not allowed to hold employment, not allowed to tend to their businesses, and their lands confiscated, their businesses are confiscated. In one particular city called Sittwe, the capital of the Arakan state, there is a huge Rohingya ghetto where close to 100,000 Rohingyas were locked up, and these places have been visited by very credible international luminaries, including George Soros, some Hollywood activist movie star like Matt Dillon, and they have unanimously said what Burma is doing parallels to what Nazi Germany was doing to the Jews. And finally, in the last month or so, the Burmese military government has passed 4 national laws banning interfaith, interracial marriages, controlling the birth rate of and the family size of essentially Muslims. So we are in a situation where we are witnessing a genocide unfolding, but the international community has been talking about prevention of genocide in Burma. U.S. Holocaust Memorial Museum has issued a warning statement recently, saying that Burma tops the list of countries, including Somalia, Nigeria, Sudan, and other places, where the next genocide is looming. And our position, and which I think Burma Task Force shares, is that genocide is not looming. Genocide is already taking place, and this is no longer the time for international community to keep talking about never again. But it needs to come together, especially at the Security Council, and take an effective action to end the genocide. What needs to happen is, hold the Burmese leader accountable for the genocide of the Rohingya, and they are committing crimes against humanity, ethnic cleansing, and genocide. And credible institutions such as like Human Rights Watch, U.S. Holocaust Museum, Amnesty International, as well as a total of 7 Nobel Peace Prize winners come to a common conclusion. This is a genocide that needs to end, and citizens can play their part. And like I said, contact the media, tell them you want to see greater coverage of the Rohingya genocide, and tell your representative that you want them to take this issue seriously and help end the genocide.